Alright everybody, welcome back. So, we're in Anime Last Stand, gonna show off the Godly Rimuru showcase for the Halloween Part 2 update. So, let's go ahead and start taking a look at him. So, he does have 12.5 mil every 3.37 on placement. It's supposed to be 12.6, but anyways. Oh, I have a 1% debuff. But, so on placement, we have a lot of abilities. We have Form Select, Skill Crafting, Reality Warping, Soul Gluttony, and Gluttony. Let's go ahead and start with the passives first. So he has Manipulation skills. He consume allies with Soul Gluttony to gain a permanent manipulation skill based on the ally's element. Fires, Fire Blishing, Water, Natures for Earth, Light, Dark. Perfect Seal for space-time manipulation. Manipulation skills persist and can be used for crafting higher skills. Then we have magic skills, which consume enemies with gluttony to gain a consumable magic skill based on the enemy's element, a max of 10 health per type. Fires, black fire magic, water is ice magic, nature's withering, light is petrification, dark is possession, perfect seal space-time manipulation. And magic skills are spent when crafting advanced/ultimate skills. And then for advanced combinations, manipulation plus magic goes to advanced skills. So fire manipulation plus black fire magic equals Ifrit. Water manipulation plus ice magic equals Ondine. Earth manipulation plus decay magic equals Gaia. And light manipulation plus petrification equals Amaterasu. Dark manipulation possession magic is Nyx. And then any manipulation plus space-time is Cthulhu. Alright, so let's go ahead and start with the top. So we have Form Select. Select the form to put True Dragon God in. We have True Dragon form, which gains access to Dragon passive, and then we have CL form. You lose access to Reality Warping, and you automatically absorb a random element every 100 seconds, and you automatically absorb every 25th enemy killed in range. Upon selecting a form, remove this active. So, from that, basically, if you want to just let it do its own thing, then you can choose CL, and it'll just eventually get all the elements it needs for you. Or if you want to do it yourself, just pick True Dragon form, which is obviously what I'm going to do here. So then now we have True Dragon. You select a unit to sacrifice, you sell the selected unit, and receive 10% of its cost back. Add the unit's total cost to True Dragon form meter. When the meter reaches 1 mil, deal 25 times this unit's damage, times off all enemies for 30 seconds, and you'll unlock ultimate and unique skills, and you lose this active. I think that's the only thing it gave me. We have advanced skill effects now. Alright, so Ifrit gain Black Flames. Enemies with 3 burn type DOTs take plus 45% damage. On Dean, you gain Freeze, and plus 25% crit chance, plus 75% crit damage, plus 40% damage versus Frozen. And then Gaia, you gain Stun plus Wind Shear, plus 10% damage per effect on enemy. Amaterasu, you gain Solar Flames. Solar Flames cap set to 500% for this unit. And then with Nyx, you gain Pressure, 50% chance to summon enemies at 40% max HP. And Cthulhu, you gain Beacon and plus 60% damage for each unit placed and sacrificed. Alright, so if we go to skill crafting, we have this whole list here. So it shows we have all the magics, but we don't have any of the manipulations. So let's go ahead and start with fire for the first one, which I can use Gluttony, which we'll check that in a second. So we have Reality Warping, which choose any element and you create a 20 radius AoE circle to place on enemies. Enemies hit are transformed into the chosen element. And if an ally is hit, you consuming the ally with Gluttony grants the manipulation skill on the chosen element and the ally's original element. So you can get 2 for 1 on your allies. And then Soul Gluttony, you select any unit and you buff all units in range by plus 30% damage. Delete the selected unit, remove 1 placement from the selected unit. The selected unit is deleted. If the selected unit loses all placements, gain a magic skill based on that unit element, and if that magic skill is already owned, you gain a random one you don't have, excluding Perfect Seal. And then we have Gluttony, which when consuming enemies does not affect bosses. You consume all enemies in range for their magic skill, does nothing to the enemies, so it doesn't kill them or anything. And then when consuming allies, it deletes the ally on consumption, no money refunded. If True Dragon form is selected, add the ally's total cost to the True Dragon meter and can only affect your own units, so you can't use it on anybody else's. So I'll go ahead and use the True Dragon. Alright, I can't. I need my meter up first. So let's go ahead and just use Gluttony on my ally. Let's use it. I wonder if I can use it on his. I can. That's interesting. I can use it on Gogeta's clone. That's funny. But anyways. So. Yep. Now we have ultimate skills. So we have Lucifer, which black flames plus blue flames plus pressure. 75% chance to summon enemies at 150% max HP. 200% if 20 summons. On summon death, follow up for 50% damage and detonate all burn type DLTs for full value. For Terra, there's Wind Shear plus Frostbite. You heal base plus 1 stock every 45 seconds, overheal to 10. For base stocks over 5 plus 40% damage each plus 20% damage per effect on enemy. If the base is greater than 7 stocks, each attack deals 1% current HP. Tsukuyomi, you gain pressure. Range is set to 300%, crit chance set to 90%. 250% crit damage, stats can't be modified. You buff allies at range, plus 25% crit chance, and plus 100% crit damage. Crit chance buffs on True Dragon God. Range, crit damage buffs. Damage of True Dragon God has greater than 75% range buff, plus 100% crit damage. Freya, enemies that enter True Dragon God's range become flying. Air allies gain plus 30% damage. True Dragon God deals plus 200% damage to flying enemies. And Yogg-Sothoth, plus 25% damage per unit slot sacrifice. Whispers of Greater Purpose. Interesting. The last one was a little interesting. Alright, so right now I think I have. The only one I have is Cthulhu. So yeah, I don't have any of these ones yet. So first we gotta start with the basic ones. So let's go ahead and use Gluttony on an ally.
Like a fucking absolute pussy. Just a fucking absolute fucking pussy. Don't get fucking kills, man.
Anyways, so it doesn't work on the clone. So let's go ahead. Let's just place these fools right here so I can do this. No. No. Alright. Give me irons. Thank you. Alright, so now we got Dark Manipulation. So now we can go ahead and use Nyx, which gives me plus 50% chance to summon enemies at 40% HP. And then now we have Pressure. And then he's neutral, so we're gonna change his element using Reality Warping. Let's go to Fire. And I'm gonna use Soul Gluttony. And then let's go ahead, consume Simon, and then we get Fire. Oh, I guess it didn't work on him. Anyways, it should work on the other two. Let's just consume my idol. So we got neutral and fire. Alright, so now we got Ifrit, which enemies with plus 3 burns in range take plus 45% damage. And then now we gain Black Flames. Let's go ahead and place my idol back down. And now we can do again. Let's do water this time. And that's Gluttony, ally. And now we can do on Dean, which gives plus 25% crit rate, 75% crit damage, plus 40% damage versus frozen enemies. And then now we gain Freeze. These guys are crazy. Alright, cool. Hurry up. Alright, and next let's do Nature. And Gluttony, ally. Oh my legs. And then now we have skill crafting for nature, plus 10% damage per effect on enemy. So then now we gain stun and wind shear. This boss is. Oh, well, it would probably help if I. There we go. Alright, anyways. And then next we need light. So let's go ahead and do that. Gluttony, ally, idle, and then now we have light. For Amaterasu, gain solar flame set to 100%, 500%. Now let's place you back down. Alright. So, now, sit up for this because there's a lot going on here. Alright, so with all that, we have the basic ones out of the way. So now, if we go to skill crafting, we have the advanced and ultimates. We also have Cthulhu, which gives plus 6% damage per slot sacrifice. So, for unit slots, we would use Soul Gluttony, and then use it probably on Gogeta. Don't know how much it affects it. Power it up. Now I can't use him, and I can't use Simon. So now we have that. So then, if we were to use that, Cthulhu, now we're at 179%. Don't want to sacrifice my farm, so I don't lose out on money right now. But, so they can be recrafted or regained later. Interesting. Alright, so now we have all the ultimate skills. So, we have Lucifer, which is a mixture of Ifrit and Nyx, 75% chance to summon, times 1.5 HP on enemies. On summon, detonate DLTs and deal plus 50% follow up. So now we have even more. Now we have Blue Flame. And then next one, we have Terra. You gain plus 20% damage per effect on enemies. Extra damage if base is greater than 7 stocks. Just in a second. Then we have Tsukuyomi. His range is set to 300, 90% crit rate plus 250% crit damage. You need Nyx for that. Get that real quick. And then buffs nearby units and crit buffs equal range / damage. So he's 454% range. Let's go ahead and max him out as well while we're at it. So he's only 3.3 bill. His range is impeccably great. Oh my gosh. And he's 105% crit damage, 332% crit damage. So yeah, he's racking up that damage, no problem. Oh lord, oh lord. All right. Anyways, on the next one. So we have Freya, Shani, Ifrit, and Ondine. All right. So enemies in range become flying, and then ground allies in range become hybrid. That's actually very good for certain units. On to the next one. And then we have Yasoda, which gives plus 75% damage per unit slot sacrifice, and he calls out for a greater purpose. And sacrifice every unit slot on your team except 2 dragon, and you deal 25 times this unit's total damage time slot sacrifice to all enemies. That is a crazy nuke. So I've sacrificed what, 2 so far. So that would be that. And then I can also just regain all of these as well. Really wanted to, just to gain all those DLTs back. So now I'm at plus 854%. So we have 6.64 bill every 2.69 seconds, 567 range, 130% crit chance, a 407% crit damage. Plus he has multitudes: weakens, solar flames, stun, freeze, black flames, pressure, frostbite, wind shear, and blue flames. So he's racking up in damage. He's racking up in so much damage. He's probably like the best godly they have right now, for being fully honest. Like Jesus Christ. Alright, anyways, let's use this one. Oh, we have multiversal collapse and Beelzebub now. Interesting. And I'm at 33 billion. Oh lordy. Oh lordy. Oh lordy. And his damage is still going up. I wonder if that goes down or not. Greater purpose. Okay. So we have plus 200% damage per unit slot sacrifice, plus 50% damage in range per 100 kills, with a cap of plus 1000% total bonus damage. Every misery, every 6 attack, rewind all enemies on the map for 7 seconds. 20-second cooldown, you deal times 7 True Dragon God's damage to the entire map. Oh. You said it to the entire map. Oh jeez. Oh jeez. Draconic Aura. When an enemy first enters 20% of True Dragon God's range, you apply Despair and Weaken, rewind 15 seconds, deal times 50 damage, a cap of 1,000,000,000. If the enemy stays inside this 20% area for 20 seconds, you deal times 2 damage every 5 seconds until it leaves. Then we have Raphael Grey Sage. True Dragon God is treated as fully upgraded. For every 1,000,000 yen the player has, plus 150% damage. So this means I can't place nobody. Oh, sir. Thank you. So, oh, my pass is here. Anyways, so we have multiple collapse. He instantly kill all enemies in range. Does not affect bosses, and it's disabled in tournaments. That's kind of bum. Whatever. And then we have Beelzebub. Execute all non-boss enemies below 75% HP. Consume executed enemies to gain their magic skill. If no enemies are executed, time stop the map for 60 seconds. Interesting. So let's just use that. Oh, minutes sir. Why am I not able to use your? There we go. Anyways, and then we have multiple collapse. Oh my. Oh my. Whoa. That seems to be. I'm assuming that's everything. I don't know what else there'd be. So this would go great in Infinite because for every 1,000,000 yen the player has plus 150% damage. So the fact that I have 17 million, that's so. Yeah, that's 2,500% damage boost from that alone. So his damage racks up the more money you have too once you get that passive. So I could, if I had known about it, I could have probably ramped up his damage even higher. But I think I'm praying this is everything. I don't know if there's anything else with this unit. Um, I'm assuming that's everything that you can show for him. I don't know if there's supposed to be more, but he's absolutely crazy. Oh my gosh, bro! Especially these DLT effects. And the thing is he's not even that much to max out either. It just takes a minute to ramp up his like skills to get to this point. But even then, it's not impossible. And it only takes like 1,000,000 to get to True Dragon God form. But that'll be it for this showcase. I hope y'all have a good one, and I'll see you on the next one.